On the far edge of the world, nestled in a quiet valley surrounded by soft, rolling hills and silvery forests, lay the sleepy village of Lyria. This wasn't an ordinary village. It glowed faintly at night, as if the stars had decided to come down from the sky and rest among its cobblestone paths and mossy rooftops. It was in this peaceful place that Eri, a 14-year-old girl with silver hair and ocean blue eyes, arrived on the back of a gentle sky bison named Kumo. Eri was a dream wanderer, someone born with the ability to walk through the dreams of others. But now, after a long journey through starfields and ancient cloud bridges, she was seeking rest, a home, and perhaps something more. "Are we here, Kumo?" Eri whispered, her arms wrapped around the bison's thick, soft fur. Kumo let out a low, musical groan and descended slowly into the village clearing. They landed in front of an old inn with lanterns shaped like moons dangling gently in the evening breeze. From inside came the sound of laughter, warm music, and the smell of cinnamon bread. A tall, cheerful woman stepped outside. Her name was Mara, and she was the innkeeper. Her hair was like autumn leaves, always drifting slightly as if caught in a breeze only she could feel. "Oh, stars above! A traveler!" she cried joyfully. "Come, child, come in. You look like you've walked across galaxies." Eri smiled shyly, sliding down from Kumo's back. "Thank you. I think I'd like to rest for a while." The next morning, Eri awoke in a soft bed, the blankets embroidered with golden thread shaped like constellations. As she pulled the curtains open, she saw a garden glowing with dew. Tiny floating lights hummed lazily above the flowers. Down in the garden, 3 children were chasing something: tiny, glowing foxes with butterfly wings called kitsune lights. "Don't let them get away!" shouted Luca, a small boy with wild brown curls and a wooden sword. Beside him, Mimi, a girl with bright green pigtails and leaf-shaped earrings, giggled as she ran. "They go into hiding if you don't make a wish first." Eri stepped barefoot into the grass. The dew didn't make her cold, it was strangely warm. "What do you do with them?" she asked softly. Luca stopped running and turned to her, puffing. "You whisper a dream to them. And if they like it, they keep it safe." Mimi added, "They give it back when you're sad." Eri kneeled in the grass, cupping her hands around a kitsune light. It gazed at her with tiny moon-like eyes. "I dream of finding someone who knows my story. Even the parts one haven't told yet," she whispered. The kitsune light blinked, then gently vanished into her hair like a spark slipping between strands. From the shadows of the garden, an old man with bark-like skin watched. His name was Elier the Dream Gardener, and he smiled. "She's the one," he whispered to the willow tree beside him. Weeks passed. Eri settled into Lyria as if she'd lived there forever. She helped Mara in the kitchen, walked Kumo through the foggy hills, and played music on the olden star harp in the evenings. Then came the Festival of Falling Stars, held once every 100 nights, when stars passed so close to the earth they could be caught in glass jars. All of Lyria gathered in the village square. Colorful tents, silk streamers, and lanterns that floated without strings filled the air. Music played from every corner, and sweets were passed around on silver plates. Eri stood in the middle, wide-eyed. Mara pressed a tiny jar into her hands. "Catch your first star, love? And don't forget to give it a name." The stars began to fall, slow, gentle, like feathers made of fire and memory. Next to Eri, Luca chased after one with a net made from dream thread. "That one's mine." Eri ran with the others, laughing. A soft, blue star floated toward her, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. She reached up, cupped it in her jar, and whispered, "I'll call you Kira." Suddenly, time slowed. The star pulsed, and Eri heard a voice. Clear, soft, and old as wind. "Remember your name, little dreamer." The jar glowed. Eri blinked. Far above, Hidden in the darkness beyond the stars, a pair of glowing eyes watched her. The next morning, the sky was strange, too quiet. The villagers murmured of changes in the dream winds. Elier came to the inn, his staff creaking like ancient wood. "Eri," he said, "it's time you met the travelers of the hidden path. They guard the balance between dreams and waking." He led her deep into the forest, past talking trees and sleeping waterfalls. They arrived at a circle of stones, each glowing faintly with different colors. One by one, the travelers emerged. Saya, the weaver of lost dreams, with eyes that reflected people's forgotten memories. Tomo, the shadowmancer who only spoke through the reflections of water. Nalan, a floating boy wrapped in bandages of starlight. Arka, a wolf with feathers who dreamed every night of things yet to happen. Saya touched Eri's cheek. "You carry something old. A key. A scar." Nalan hovered closer. "She's the next keeper, isn't she?" Eri looked at them all, confused. "What does that mean?" Elier's voice was soft. "It means your dreams shape the dreams of others. And something, is trying to unravel that gift." 2 nights after Eri met the travelers, the winds in Lyria began to shift. Flowers closed early. Lanterns flickered for no reason. And then, something even stranger began to happen. Children started vanishing in their sleep. It began with Luca. Mara woke to find his bed still warm, but the boy gone. No footprints, no broken windows, no sound. His wooden sword still lay by his pillow. Then Mimi disappeared, and a day later, 3 kitsune lights were found swirling in panic near the willow tree. Eri sat beneath the inn's archway, clutching her knees. "They're not gone," she whispered. "They've been taken." Elia arrived grave. "Someone is feeding on dreams," he said, "and using them to unravel the veil between this world and the waking dark." Eri's breath hitched. "The waking dark?" Saya, the traveler of lost dreams, appeared behind her, cloaked in silver thread. "It's the place where dreams go to die," she said. "It was sealed long ago, but it hungers. It always hungers. We have to get them back," Eri said. "You will," Saya nodded. "But not alone." Saya led Eri to a sacred glade where 5 ancient stones rose from the ground like fingers of sleeping giants. From each stone, a light pulsed, and from each a dream-bound companion emerged. Cain, a hot-headed boy with flame-red hair and twin daggers. "I burned away my own nightmares," he said, flashing a grin. "I'll burn away whatever's hurting yours." Lyra, a soft-spoken girl with fish-scale tattoos who carried a harp made of sea glass. "I hear the voices of the missing," she whispered. Thimble, a chubby raccoon-like creature with goggles and endless pockets. "I build traps in dreams," he snorted. "If it eats dreams, I'll catch it in one." Makari, a ghost cat with bells on her tail. "I only exist when no one's looking," she purred. "Perfect for sneaking." June, a gentle giant made of paper and ink whose thoughts were written across his skin. "I remember the dreams of trees," he said, bowing. They surrounded Eri one by one, placing a hand or paw on her shoulder. Cain spoke first. "We'll follow you into the waking dark." "But it's not a place you go," June murmured. "It's a place that comes when you sleep." That night, the companions formed a circle around Eri in the willow garden. The grass shimmered with quiet dew. Elia lit 7 dreamstones and set them in a ring. "You must let go," he said. "Let yourself fall through the veil." Makari curled on Eri's chest, purring. "Count backward from 99. Slowly." So Eri began. 99. 98. 97, her breath slowed. The stars above twisted, turning into glass shards. The wind became a humming lullaby. 86. 85, and then the world shattered. Everything went black, but not empty. Eri awoke in a place of shadows. Gravity didn't feel real here. Streets were made of clocks and ash, and buildings melted into fog. Somewhere, a music box was playing out of tune. The sky above had no stars. "Welcome to the waking dark," Thimble whispered beside her. They moved through dream rivers of forgotten thoughts where voices whispered things like, "I wish I'd told him I loved him, I never forgave myself, I was never enough." Suddenly Cain flinched. "Something's watching us." Out of the darkness came a figure twice the height of a man, stitched from torn pajamas and rusted lullabies. Its eyes were empty jars. It spoke without moving its mouth. "You, dreamer, belong here," the creature, called the Sleepless King, lunged. Cain leapt with his flaming daggers, slashing through the smoke. Lyra's harp rang like crystal, holding the fog back. But the king was strong, its voice shook the ground. "You carry too many dreams, little girl, give them to me, feed me." "No." Eri shouted, holding her star jar tight. Kira, her star, pulsed softly within it. June stepped forward. Pages peeled from his skin, glowing with old magic. "She is not yours." The Sleepless King screamed, a terrible sound like a child crying backward. Eri remembered Luca's laugh. "Mimi's dancing." She raised the jar and opened it. Kira shot out like a comet, burning the shadows away. For a moment, the waking dark was pierced by light. From the holes in the sky, Eri saw Luca and Mimi, trapped in floating cocoons of dream silk, pulsing faintly. "They're here," she cried. "Help me." The companions moved fast. Makari slipped between shadows and cut the silk. Thimble deployed a dream cage to trap the crawling nightmares guarding the cocoons. June and Cain carried the children as Lyra sang lullabies that stitched the dream path back together. The Sleepless King screamed one last time, dissolving into wind. But before he vanished, he whispered, "You have only begun to dream," and then he was gone. Eri held Luca, who stirred and blinked. "You came," he mumbled. "Of course I did," she whispered. They returned to the real world by following Kira's light. When they awoke, the children were safely in their beds again. Lyria bloomed once more. But that night, Eri looked up at the stars. "Something's still out there," she whispered. And somewhere, far beyond the sky, a second Sleepless King opened his eyes.